Sup guys, Tyler here, and today I kind of want to talk about something that I've been really interested in since I came to Japan and before I came to Japan is manga and comics. Like the difference between manga, comics, or manga as some people in the States call it. The reason why this topic kind of came up is because the new Civil War trailer just dropped, which looks amazing. It's got Spider-Man in it. I'm super excited. Big into Marvel comic books, but also I'm really big into like One Piece, or I was big into One Piece, Death Note. What is that show called? Attack on Titan. So I also liked Japanese comics a lot as well. And like what kind of to go over some of the main differences between like Japanese comics versus like American comics, and how they came to where they're at, and why everybody hates the other one. Like, because a lot of fans of American comics don't particularly get along with fans of anime or Japanese comics. Like, I used to go to conventions that my dad would hold, like the little comic book conventions, and you would always see like a comic book character cosplayer and like an anime cosplayer, and it's just like there's always tension between those two types of people. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about like some of the things that make them different. Like, one of the first things is how they're made. Comic books in the States are usually made by a group of people. Like, one comic will have an illustrator, a storyboarder, not just illustrator, storyboarder. There's like more than one person working on this one comic. While traditionally, and a lot of times in Japan, you have one person do pretty much everything for the comic. A lot of times they try and get publishers, but for the most part they draw, write the story, artistic, all that stuff. One person does it, which I thought was really cool. That's one of my things I like about manga is because they do that, there's like you have a concise, clear cut, this is how the story is going to progress. While when you have multiple writers, multiple people, it can kind of go one way, go the other way. And the size is another thing. Like, American comic book size, it was made, the sizes are made to be read at home or read, like while you're relaxing. It's not really something like a manga is made. A manga is made for trains. It's made for people on the go or moving around. It's small, compact, easy to hold, and it's durable. Like, while American comics are not durable at all. They're usually on the kind of paper they're made on is very, very thin, and it's also really easy to damage an American comic book, which is why people usually take really good care of them, have them in their house, read them at their house kind of thing, collect them. Like, they're almost more of a collector's item than they are like for reading. And then there's the color versus the black and white. I like the color, but because the anime and manga, it's not anime, but manga doesn't have color, they're able to focus more on story writing. They get more into one page because all they have to do is do the drawings. They don't have to actually go in and paint everything, or illustrate everything, which makes it a lot harder. And then the content is one thing I always thought was weird. Like, manga, so you have one story, usually, like one big story arc, and then like this many, books. While usually in comic books, with the exception of a few like Civil War, like the Marvel Civil War was kind of a series, they usually are short series covered in like a few books or in one book. Like, okay, this is when Batman fought the Joker doing this. Like Killing Joke's a really famous Batman comic that it's like, here's one of the comics. And Dark Knight Returns with what is that? Millard. God, I'm bad at my history, but anyways, there's those comics and they're made in one books, and it's like, okay, this is an entire story. And then other than that, like, the prices are pretty similar, which is nice. But then you get into collectors comics versus, I don't know much about collecting manga, and if anybody does know anything more about collecting manga, please let me know. But with comic books, you can sell a comic book for a lot of money, upwards of like $20,000, $100,000, depending on how rare the comic book is. You can sell it for a legit amount of money. Like, when my brother owns one of the first copies of Wolverine, and I don't remember how much it sells for, but enough to get some money out of it. And I guess the last thing would be the differences in what I like. Like, I like manga for the kind of unrealistic, the craziness of it, while I like comic books more for the characters. Like, I feel like the characters are built really well because they have multiple writers. They've been around for quite some time. Like Batman, Superman, Flash, Arrow, like those like the DC, the Marvel, Spider-Man have been around for 50 plus years a lot of the time. While a lot of, like, I mean, the most popular mangas are right now like One Piece, Attack on Titan. People say those are too long, like the story's too long, but Batman's been around so much longer than that I really don't understand the argument between the two of them. And that's the last thing I'll end on is the hatred between the two people. Like, oh, anime's better than this, or comic books are better than this. And it's like, man, don't knock it till you try it. Because a lot of times, like, I started off liking comic books, and I came into the whole manga thing. And now I like manga more than I like comic books. But I still like both of them equally, and you have to give it a shot to really get into it. But that's it for this video. I just kind of want to, like, talk about something that I'm interested in. If you like these kind of videos, please let me know. And yeah, if anybody knows more about, like, collecting manga, I would like to know more about that. So let me know. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time.